Welcome. I hope everybody's having a wonderful night, and I know we have a fantastic guest. Welcome, everyone. Let's bring them on and get to it. I know that's what you're waiting on. And here he comes. Glad to see you all here. Tag everyone, please. Start tagging. Says adding, says joining. And there he
Says
is,
here.
the man, the man of the hour, right there.
So nice to be the man of the hour for once.
There you go. It's your night. We're gonna make it. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Just finished up some work and figured I'd sit down nicely in the chair and have at it.
Awesome. Well, if everyone doesn't know, and I'm pretty sure they do, this is Jason Wilson.
Hello,
So,
everyone.
welcome. Welcome. So I'm so glad to have you here. I've been so excited about this, and um, gosh, we got connected real good. So let's roll with it. Let's do it. So tell all of us a little bit about Jason. We see all the reels, the beautiful reels, the funny reels. Now, tell us about Jason.
Jason was born on Christmas in the 80s and joined the military at 17 and traveled the world. Was over 40 plus countries. I did some counterterrorism work for the Navy. Got out and got back into aquariums and started on YouTube. And fast forward 3 years ago, come March 1st, I joined Sicce.
Awesome. I was going to ask you how long you've been with Sicce. So 3 years, right?
3 years, yep.
Awesome. Now, what led you to go with Sicce?
I mean, I followed the whale. No, I spent some time doing some different stuff, law enforcement, and I was still doing YouTube. I had my own online business selling fish food, and I was with a couple companies prior to. Sicce presented itself in a very unique way, and I'm just the type of person that goes after it. Like I'm not gonna sit and wait. I'm not gonna, I like to make very fast, calculated decisions. So here I am.
That's awesome. Now, how long has Sicce been around?
So Sicce was founded in 1973 in Pozzoleone, Italy, by Paolo Petinon. And to this day, Paolo Petinon still owns the company, but they're working on a transition where his four daughters also own and run the company. So Sicce, technically in as it is ran by four sisters out of Italy.
Wow. Now, see, I didn't know that. That's awesome. That
It
is
is
so cool.
very cool. It is very cool.
Now, I got to ask you real quick about your reels. Where do you get the inspiration to do all those? Those are so cool.
Well, I appreciate that. I would say about 50% of them, most people say no. And the other 50%, are probably funny. I've always been somebody that likes humor. I find humor in just about everything. So that's where I kind of get the ideas for reels. I want to make people laugh. I'm very quick on my feet. I'm very quick-witted. So it's kind of just comes naturally, I guess.
Awesome. I was like, gosh, I don't know how he thinks up this stuff.
Oh man, my boss is in here. I need to button
Uh-oh.
need to button up here.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Let's look professional now. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Now let's talk about Sicce. Let's talk about some of the products. What is their number one selling item? Do you know?
I mean, you're talking, we're global in over 77 countries. So, when most people think North America, I'm going to be honest, you're looking at an aquarium pump and maybe you're looking at the higher end aquarium pump. Most people are talking, Ecotech, right? They've been around for quite some time. That's the name that populates. Well, Sicce's been around a lot longer, and we have a lot more products than what a lot of other manufacturers have. So for me to say what the number one selling SKU is would be very, very hard. But what I can tell you is the Syncra Silent line, which is our just plug and play return pump, which we have 5, 6, 7, I think it's like 9 sizes. It's used in everything from reactors to sumps to skimmers to private label all over the world for companies you probably had no idea about.
Oh, how cool.
It is very
I did
cool.
not know. Now tell us a little bit about the Sicce series.
So
Okay.
the Syncra series is just a very energy efficient, very quiet and versatile return pump. So when you're looking to move, matter of fact, let's do this. When you're looking to move water in a specific way, this is it. Very quiet. We have our family secret behind here, which is our resin to keep it very, very silent. All of these pumps can be run externally with what comes added with them. And then you can dial in the flow. So you can run this outside of your sump, just have it connected, or you can submerge it. Comes with suction cups and an additional attachment similar to this. So you can literally stick this up to the side of the aquarium, put a sponge on this side and use it as a polisher. You can hook it up to a DIY polisher. There's not many things this thing cannot do.
I love that.
And it has a 5-year
Now,
warranty.
what model is that?
So this is the Syncra 2.0, but we have a Nano all the way up to a 5.0.
Okay, for instance, the one that you're holding, okay, say I've got a 125 and a 55 gallon sump. Which one would I need?
I would say the 5.0.
5.0?
When you ask that question, this is actually perfect for folks that are listening. You say, hey, what pump do I need? There are so many variables. Most people think, oh, I just look at gallons per hour. Well, I hate to break it to everyone, but I could tell you it's 4,000 gallons an hour, but when it gets dumped back into your aquarium based on how many T's you have, so your 90s, your 45s, how much linear foot of piping you have, that's going to decrease that gallons per hour rating. So you really got to hone it in just a little bit more than what pump works best.
Gotcha.
Right? Yeah.
Now, if someone went to the website and they just asked, just like I did, I've got a 125 and a 55 gallon sump.
Hold on, somebody just had a baby. So congratulations to whoever's watching. Do me a favor, private message me, follow me, whatever it is, private message me or Sicce, and we'll get you hooked up with some sweet gear.
Oh,
sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And that happens to be Ross Driver. And
Awesome.
he is just a fantastic guy. He is one of my LFS guys, and he is
great.
wonderful. Yes, they have a little nugget now. I'm so thrilled for him. Beautiful, beautiful boy. So what I was saying is if someone was over there looking at your pumps and they're going, man, I really don't know which kind I need, is there a chat or a recommendation, how they can get a hold of someone and say, hey, this is what I've got and this is what I'm looking to get. Can you give me an idea on sizes and stuff?
So one of the great things about Sicce, especially in North America, our team's not very big, but we're very efficient. So we have a bunch of graphs that could be found on our website for most of our products. You can also figure out head height yourself. 2 feet is lost per 90. You're looking at about a foot per 45, and every 6 foot of linear piping, you're at 2 foot head loss as well. So you add that up and then you subtract it from head height, and then you want to make sure you go up in the pump. The other thing is you can contact me. You can contact our social media team, and we will be glad to do our best to help you. Doesn't mean we're perfect, but we're going to do our best to get you taken care of.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I know that's very confusing because a lot of people, like you said, and I did not know either, to take in the variants such as the elbows, the T's, or whatever when you're deciding on a pump.
Yep. Mark, so Wendy just answered your question. The Ultra Zero drains water in your tub, your sink, your aquarium, your pond, down to 2 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch.
That is amazing. I mean, I don't know that there's another pump that does that. That
Um,
is so cool.
I don't know if there's another pump that has the Sicce guarantee is the big piece, but it's not designed to push. Yeah, so Sicce has a big, big known warranty guarantee, and it goes from 2 on some older products that we've had, all the way up to 5 years for a lot of our products. And we're working on some different things, but with the Ultra Zero, I guess I'll commandeer this live real quick.
Sure.
Most people, they get exactly what they need out of it. The Ultra Zero pump drains water, it transfers water, you can mix your salt out of it. So I've seen some people use it as a return pump. It's a very good utility pump, but here's the kicker. It's designed as a hobbyist pump. It's designed to have it on hand for the typical person. Maybe your sink gets clogged, your tub, or you have a small flood. You can then drain that water down to 1/8 of an inch with the Ultra Zero. But it's not designed to move water 50 feet, 60 feet. It's going to take a lot longer to do something like that. So whenever you're looking to move a ton of water faster, we have other solutions, and Ultra Zero may not be 100% fit for you, but I will say it's probably a fit for 99% of hobbyists out there.
Awesome. Now, I've seen there's been several, but I've seen a question. Number one is, do y'all make dosing pumps?
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So Sicce's got some great dosing pumps. It just so happens that they work on the Sicce Control app. It's a free app. If you have any of our controllable products, you can then add those Sicce dosing pumps onto that app. It does the same exact thing as it would on Sicce's app. And also, I believe they have a 5-year warranty.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And another one that I've seen, and I know I've missed a bunch, but another one that I've seen was someone was asking, what does the warranty cover? Is there limitations on it, or?
So when you're looking, and it all comes inside you'll have a little manual, or you can find a lot of this information online as well. So as long as you register your product, you get 5 years, the 3 years, the 2 years, and that's kind of the smaller, older items that you'd look at. But it will cover pretty much everything except for your impeller. So your impeller is a moving product. You typically get 6 months to a year. And as long as you're maintaining it, look, we're going to take care of you. We're not the type of company that's going to say absolutely no right away. But we do have to go through some checks and balances to make sure that, one, you've done your due diligence on that product. You didn't punt it down the stairs, or you used it in a way you shouldn't have been using it, or it wasn't designed for something specific that you were using it for. But we will definitely take care of you. And then anything outside of the warranty, you have your local fish store. You can search online, and you can also head to our website to find out what replacement parts are available.
Gotcha. Now, someone just mentioned, and I didn't realize it, but someone just mentioned the Sicce pump cleaner.
Man, it's like you guys are magicians.
Well, look at that. Right there it is.
Yep.
So
pump clean.
How do you use that?
Very simple. Get yourself a bucket or whatever you use to clean your products in. You can plug your sink and add it. Pump clean, you add the necessary amount based on the water volume that you have. Let your product sit for a little bit. You can run it while it's in there, and it will do a lot of the work for you, so you don't have to worry about getting in there and scrubbing. Disclaimer, if you are using vinegar, I'm not saying that it's the worst thing in the world, but it is also not the best thing in the world, because it will eat at your silicone and some plastics. So Pump Clean does have a citric acid base. I'm not going to dance around that, but there is another piece of this formulation that allows us to sell this to you as Pump Clean. You use it for any of your products, and you'll find that it works a lot better than you would citric acid.
Gotcha. So that would work like on the wave makers and the pumps?
Anything for your aquarium, it is completely safe. And then when you're done, just rinse it off with fresh water, put it right back to use.
Awesome.
Yep.
Is the average soaking time maybe 15 minutes or
About 20 to
put on a
30
grunt?
minutes. Some people have extras, right? So they replace their new, they pull off the old, they slap it in there. I typically run my skimmer in the bucket with the Pump Clean going, so I don't have to worry about all that stuff, and I don't wait so long to do it. I don't call them wave makers. I do call them stream pumps or in-tank flow pumps. I'll run that in a bucket while it's going so that the impeller gets cleaned, and then I just check the pump to make sure that it's still looking good, nothing's crazy, a trochus snail didn't get jammed up in there and wreak havoc.
Exactly. Now, someone asked, and I know I'm missing a bunch, but someone asked is, how often do you guys suggest that a person use the pump cleaner to clean their pumps?
So, loaded question. I know you could say you need to clean it up. It's like fish food 3 times a day as long as your fish are still eating. Man, your fish will be fat. They'll be unhealthy. Your tank will be full of nitrates. Your phosphates are probably through the roof. So with Pump Clean, honestly, you should at least be cleaning your pumps twice a year. Maybe a little less depending on how big your system is or how clean your system is. But definitely check your products. It doesn't matter if it's a Sicce product or whoever else's product. Check it throughout the year. Maybe break it down into 4 quarters. Hey, I'm going to look at this pump, make sure everything's good. We're good. Send it through. Because your return pump is the heartbeat of your aquarium. And if you don't have a backup, it's kind of hard for, let's say somebody contacts us and says, my pump went dead. Chances are your Sicce pump didn't go dead, but the impeller may be bad, or something happened where the impeller got busted. It could take us a couple days to get it to you, and we don't want you to be without, that flow of your tank, especially with all that hard-earned coral and fish. We don't want that to go bad.
Oh, yeah. Now, you was talking about like having an extra pump. That was one of our topics of the day the other day was what spare equipment do you have for just in case? And the 2 big things was that I noticed everyone mentioning was heaters and pumps.
Yep.
Because all dark, they're not going to go down between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
No,
It's going to be after the store is closed and your local fish store is closed, and there you are with no pump or no heater. So then it's good to buy an extra. Now, speaking of buying, I need you to tell us, where do you buy these?
I'd like you to go to your local fish store first, right? Local fish store is near and dear to my heart. Local fish store is very, very near and dear to Sicce's heart. But we also know that not every local fish store is going to be able to carry every brand, including Sicce. But you may have another online retailer that's close to you that is, maybe not a major name. It is a local store or a hobbyist that has a business. We want you to support, them, but we want you to get the product, as efficiently as possible. So you can really technically find Sicce pretty much everywhere. And if your local store doesn't carry it, we need to talk.
That's right. Now, Ross, you're watching from the hospital with that new baby, so you heard Jason.
Look,
we need to talk.
Man, we'll give you paternity leave for a little bit, but then the whale's coming and knocking.
That's right. Speaking of the whale, how did that come up? Follow the whale.
I'm gonna guess because when I came on, the whale's been in the logo since the beginning. I have a gut feeling that the owner, Mr. Petinon, loves whales. Where Follow the Whale came in was, it really is, if Sicce's logo is a whale, and we want you to see the amazing things we're doing and to be able to help you grow in your hobby, follow the whale. And that's how
Well,
it
I
just,
love that.
that's how I believe it came into its inception. Whether that's the truth or not, I'll have to find out. I just don't speak Italian.
I don't either. I barely speak English. Now tell us a little bit about that Jolly heater.
Man, you're like really all on it. So, yeah, so I want to say that we did not talk about any questions or anything. So me having these products right here are pretty snazzy. So the Jolly preset. The Jolly preset right now comes in three sizes: 6, 12, 25. It's designed for your nano pico tanks, but we may or may not have some really cool stuff in the works coming for your larger aquariums.
Awesome. It's like that was gonna bring me to my other question. Was what do you see for the future of Sicce? Anything down the road that you could leak out a little bit or a hint?
So we are, you know what? I am going to say, so we're family owned, right? So we can make decisions, we can make moves, we can adjust based on what we need to for everything. Whether it's, so we don't just make products for aquariums, we make products for ponds, aquaponics, we make products for hydroponics, fountains. We do quite a bit. We have a lot of products coming out this year. We're not stopping. We have things that will make your fish feel warm. We've got water cleansing devices. We've got some really neat, innovative products coming, and
Awesome.
we just got to do what we got to do to maintain our focus. Right, blinders on. We're a racehorse. We're running our race. Thank you very much. Somebody noticed my collection, so thank you.
Aw, awesome. Bobby
So
says,
Bobby
push
Moon
me.
wants you to push me, man.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Now, tell me, let's talk filters. Filters
Okay.
for just a minute. I know there's like a Tidal, a Green Reset, a Shark Pro. Cover a little bit about those. Tell us a little bit about the filters.
Yep. So title we make for Seachem, as you can see based on, the packaging. And the Green Reset's designed for ponds. It's a pressurized canister. We also make the whale canister filter, which is designed for aquariums, which is what you see there. I'm actually seeding that whale because I'm breaking down that aquarium to set up a new aquarium over here so that I can take this large wall for all of the amazing production we're going to be doing with Sicce. We also have the Space Echo, which is a filter. My favorite filter to date that we have is the Shark Pro. It's an in-tank filter. It's sort of like a canister. It looks like I guess what does it look like? I mean, it really is. I don't have one, which is silly, but it's a square item that sits in there. It looks like an overflow box, I guess I could say. You can put it to the left, the right. You can add multiple. It's got built-in spray bar, the ability to use that as a reactor inside your sump. You can use it with GFO or carbon. It's phenomenal. It doesn't use suction cups. It uses magnets. It's extremely good looking inside an aquarium. You can scape around it if you had a small, and you didn't want the all-in-one, you wanted more space. We just have so many different options. The best thing I could tell somebody is either check out our Instagram or really go to our website and look at all the amazing stuff.
Awesome. Now, the Shark Pro that you were talking about, is it designed for X amount of gallons, or how is that?
Yeah. So we have a 500, a 700, and a 900, and those will be liters because we are Italian. So, we're going to translate to gallons per hour or gallons. So what I do know off the top of my head without looking at any material is the 900 is good for a moderately stocked aquarium at 70 gallons. And then you'll kind of back away from there.
I gotcha. Now they're good for freshwater too, right? Someone just mentioned fresh. Nope.
All of it.
Okay.
All of it.
He
Yep.
was shaking his head, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Most of our products are cross collaborative to just about anything, right? So you've only got three sources of water. You've got, salt water, fresh water, and then I always say it wrong, but you got your brackish. I think it's, maybe I am saying it right, but I'm from the Northeast originally, so brackish it is.
Awesome. Now let's talk propeller pumps, like the
Okay.
Extreme SDS. What's the difference,
So
and what are they used for?
powerhead, inflow, stream pumps, or as you called it, propeller pumps. Perfect. So we have essentially two different ones. We have the Voyager series, we have the Extreme series. I'll talk about the Voyager series first.
Yes.
So the Voyager series is designed for your bigger aquariums. We go all the way up to 4,000 gallons an hour. So our high power 10 does 4,000 gallons an hour, and it retails for 200 bucks. There is not a single stream propeller inflow pump. Man, plug it into a Wi-Fi little outlet deal to make it go on and off when you want to. Is it the prettiest? No, it's not. It doesn't have the outside where your wire still is running, and ultimately you're still taking up what I believe to be the nicest view of your aquarium, which is that side view. But the magnet's good. It's submersible externally as well, so you could put that in your overflow box. If you have Euro bracing, you can attach it. I don't have one like readily available. There's one right over there, but if you rotate it, which it rotates 360 on an axis, and it rotates 180 degrees on a bracket, there's really no position you cannot put it in.
Oh, I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
So
amazing.
the next one is going to be your Extreme. So this is where folks sometimes get confused. I'll try to make it as easy as possible before I chop my fingers. So this is the Extreme. The Extreme was designed to be a more aesthetically pleasing propeller pump or stream pump, if you will. So there's two differences when it comes to pumps. You have your AC version, which means you plug it in, one speed, that's it. Your DC version is you plug it in, and then you're like, oh man, this is so cool, technology, right? You get to gallons per hour up and down. This bad boy has 4 AC versions. So physically, they are the same size, but there are some small changes internally and to the propeller that allow it to increase its speed per unit. So we've got 3,500, 5,000, 6,500, 8,000. Seriously, don't quote me. There are too many numbers when it comes to this stuff that I may or may not be right or wrong. So these do have a 5-year warranty. They're very easy. You simply squeeze, rotate, boom, clean. Put it back in, rotate it back. There's a little clip underneath. She's ready to go again.
Oh, that's handy.
It's very
That's not like the old
easy.
fashioned one I
Right?
got.
Yeah, it's very easy. Now, from this, there's again 4 AC sizes. Plug in, that's it, one speed. So then we decided to create the Extreme SDC, which is the same physical size as the other Extremes. It just has all the bells and whistles. It has the ability to monitor your water temperature. That's globally patented if any manufacturers are watching. So it will tell you via your Android phone, your iPhone, what your water temperature is. It'll tell you when it's time to clean it. It'll tell you if there's a blocked rotor. It'll even tell you if your power goes down. So technically, it's like a little mini controller. Doesn't cost anything extra. It comes with it, and you can add every single controllable device we have to it, including Siccem's dosers. So you can literally have the whole thing to include a controllable skimmer as well.
Oh, now I like that.
Yeah. And
Now,
so
do you
that's the
have
SDC line.
SDC line?
DC. Yep.
SDC. I'm writing that down because I'll forget because I'm old. Um, Now, do you know about what those run? Do they have an X retail at each?
$229.99 is retail.
How much?
$229.99.
Wow. I
So,
like that.
you know, and it goes up to 2250 US gallons an hour, all the way down to 200 and I think 70.
Man, yeah. Did y'all know all this stuff? Because I didn't.
So the other propeller pumps, we have the Voyager Nanos. They're very popular. To be honest with you, I don't know why they're called Voyager Nanos, because they look closer to this. They're just much smaller. There's two sizes, Voyager 1000, Voyager 2000. Those are very inexpensive. Those are perfect for your Pico and Nano tanks.
Awesome. That is so cool.
Yep.
God, I didn't realize that it would tell you your tank temperature and everything on that SDC model.
So there's a lot of things folks don't know about our SDC line. I guess this is a perfect opportunity to talk about it then.
Please do.
Our SDC line is fully controllable. We have return pumps. We have a 3.0, a 6.0, a 7.0, and a 9.0. The 9.0 goes all the way up to 2,700 US gallons an hour with, I believe, 16 and a half feet of head height. And the 3.0 goes all the way down to, I want to say, like 400 gallons an hour with a head height of like 8.5 feet. So we have return pumps that really could fit most hobbyists' aquariums. Then we have our, of course, propeller pump, which is the Extreme SDC, also known as a stream pump. And then we have our PSK, our protein skimmer pump SDC. We have three sizes of that. And then, of course, you have the ability to add Seachem's doser pumps. So you add those all onto our SDC app, which is called Control, CONTRALL, Control All. It's a play on words. And now you can use voice commands. So you can use your favorite voice assistant, one that rhymes with Blamazon, the other rhymes with Query, and then the other rhymes with Oogle. And I don't want to set off anybody's stuff. So you can set those voice stuff up. You can set up feed modes. You can separate aquariums. You could tie them together. It will send you direct notifications. Anywhere in the world you can control those. You'll set them up via, directly right in front of it. And then you decide to go on vacation, you're good. Now, let's say you have Apex. Well, turns out you can hook every single one of our SDC products up to Apex. If you're more apt to be with a company called GHL, well, GHL uses, you have to buy them specifically through GHL, but you can use GHL's Versa pumps, which are our pumps on GHL system. And then Red Sea has their new reflow pumps coming out, which is also our controllable pumps for Red Sea's system.
Wow.
And now I'm sure we'll get asked the question about hydros. Okay.
I already seen it in the chat.
We don't make moves very quickly, right? We're Italian. We love Lamborghini. We love Ferrari and Bugattis. However, we have to make sure that everything we do is the right time with all the right support and we know what's going on. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying, please be patient. I know folks at Hydros are like, beat them up, man. Keep asking them, keep asking them, keep asking them. I will tell you publicly that we are doing everything we can. We have to get our products out. Folks on that end, on another manufacturer end, may say, oh, it's so easy. You just add a couple codes and run with it. Maybe it I don't know. What I do know is one of our lead engineers is from Bugatti, and I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. He just wants to make sure, along with the rest of the team, which is fantastic, by the way, we do the right things at the right time. That's why we've been around since '73. We're not doing what everybody tells us to do.
Right. That is awesome. I mean, that is just amazing. And the way that you talk about the company and stuff, it is though it's not your job per se, but it's more like a family atmosphere. Is that what I'm getting that from you?
You shouldn't get
Was
it. It is true. It is
okay.
true. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've worked for other companies before. I was in the military, that felt like a family to me. There were brothers and sisters that were closely tied together in whatever we did. And when I got out, it was really hard to find that. And when I got to Sicce, it was different. It was really different. Like everything just is, it feels good. We're not doing anything secretly. My job was to call the stores and do social media. Then COVID happened. And I'm like, I could lose my job, right? My number one job was to visit stores. But Sicce, who has no idea what's going to happen in the middle of what was going on, says, well, can you adjust a little bit and maybe do some social media? And I was like, well, absolutely. If this is going to allow me to still have a job, then of course I'll adjust.
Right.
And they embraced it. They didn't, they're very transparent in how we talk to each other. If we're looking to do something, they don't discredit it. You feel like you're making an impact. And to be honest with you, this isn't for show. Like the camera's off and I got friends that are like, shut up about it, man. Like, shut up. It sounds too good. How do I sell? How do I go sell pumps and filters? And it's a family. I don't work. I really don't. I have fun in everything I do with Sicce.
And I got that vibe, not just from tonight, but from seeing how supportive and how you embrace Sicce.
Yeah.
And I got the feeling as though it was just a big family for you guys.
It is. I'll one of the things that sticks out in my head is like the first trade show I was doing, and it was with Sicce. It was the first trade show I did with Sicce, and I had asked my direct boss, who I don't care if he's in here or not, he hates hearing it. He's probably one of the best mentors in the game. He was like birthed in a 10-gallon aquarium. But I asked him, I said, hey, what do we wear? Is there something specific? Like, do we wear khakis? Do we wear, what do we wear? And it was at that moment with the answer that I got that I realized I was in the right place. And he said, show up as you. When I heard that, I got goosebumps. When I heard that, I was like, nobody's ever said that. They always got, oh, you're going to show up in khakis and a tie and, loose office casual. What they just make up things. What is loose office casual?
I don't know.
We don't know what's going on. They let me wear what I want to wear. They let me be me. And that goes with everyone in the company. Everyone. And with that, that's like family. Family, you come as you are, right?
Right.
It's the same way. I love it. I love it.
See, that to me, that's amazing. And that does let you know that you are in the right spot.
Absolutely.
Because you feel at home there with them. So, gosh.
When are you going to start asking me some like hard questions?
Well, I don't know. I was trying to take it easy on you.
No, don't take it easy.
I wanted to get the word out to all these people because I think a lot of jaws dropped, just like mine did, when you were discussing that SDC and it tells you your water temperature and all this. Like, I seen so many comments like, are you kidding me? I did not know that. And I'm like, I didn't either.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Kevin Wisen's,
we already
might have missed
answered Hydros integration. He probably went back and the folks at Hydros were like, Ask one more time. See if it changes.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh,
I love it.
that is so funny. Um, Now, we touched on a little bit of the new products maybe coming out, or you've got things in the works, and this is kind of in reference to it being a family too. I mean, do any of you guys that work for Sicce, do you guys throw ideas out there and they like really look at them and offer up?
Yeah. So this was, I don't know if anybody remembers this because I do live out loud on the internet, but I was at Reefapalooza Orlando last year, and my backpack got stolen,
I
and
think that.
it had quite a bit of stuff in there. It had a lot of camera gear and iPads and all that jazz. But more importantly, it had drawings of products that I was very excited about, that Sicce was letting me pitch in Italy in front of the engineers. I want, I don't care, I don't care what you do for a living, right? I don't care what you do for a living. But it was at the moment when I was asked, hey, do some drawings and let's go over them in a meeting with engineers and see what we could do. I could have half asked it, right?
Right.
But I took it serious. And I sat in a room with engineers for my first time in Italy at Sicce in Pozzoleone, and they said, what should we be doing next? And I'm a freshwater guy by trade. I love freshwater. I love turtles. I love frogs. I have saltwater aquariums. I love them. I think there's far too much going on with it. But I love it. I do. I love glass boxes.
Right.
But I had an opportunity to potentially design a product that a hobbyist like myself would use. Some people may go, okay, yeah, okay, I did that. Whatever. It was different for me. I took it so serious. So when my bag got stolen, everybody was like, oh my goodness, your cameras, your iPads, your this, the keys to your rental car. All I said, I didn't say anything to them, but I told my wife and, Sicce, like my drawings were in there. Luckily, I'm a little technology inclined, so I had some of them saved, but I got to pitch them and I got to watch the engineers draw in front of me, sketch out what the product would look like in its inception. And those products will come out this year. I don't care, it's very exciting, right? Like, and
Yes.
it's not 100% me, right? It's a whole team thing. Like I brought, an advancement to what we were doing, then they add their stuff and then it goes into production. Then we tweak some more and we test it and we tweak some more. And the cool part is I don't care about like people, oh, did you get to name it? It's like, I don't care about that. Like if I see somebody using one or I see it on the store shelf, this and this right here gets to go, man, like I got to make a difference. I got to make something more efficient for somebody. That's the exciting part. And that's what Sicce allows you to do. Like you can say what your idea is. They'll never discredit it, ever. And I mean, I can go on and on about that all night. It gets me super excited.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Now, I seen where your bag was stolen and everything, but you know what else I seen? I seen the outpouring of
Yeah.
love and
Isn't that crazy?
support
Like
that
it's,
you got.
yeah,
And
unfathomable.
it really was. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad that someone would take your bag,
Well, I found it.
and it was found. I couldn't remember.
Well, I mean, we didn't retrieve it, but I found it.
Oh,
I ended up finding it, and I pinpointed it to an actual apartment complex, and it just turned out we wouldn't be able to retrieve it, even though I knew some other people that were able to have folks go in to potentially retrieve it. It was too wide of an area, but it doesn't matter, honestly. It actually doesn't matter that it was stolen. It happens, and I learned from it. I understand things a little bit more clearly now, and ultimately, maybe they needed it more than I did. That's all I can think. That's it.
But what you seen that came out of that, man, I know it had to have touched your heart
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I was just on the outside looking in, having never talked to you or met you per se or anything. And I was watching that unfold and I was like, oh God, it was somebody stole it.
Yeah.
And then when I seen the outpouring of people that came and said, hey, here, here's a new camera or whatever, I was like, oh my gosh,
Well, that's the kicker. I'm working for a company that said, hey, listen, that sucks. What was in the bag? Let's just get it again so that we can get you rolling. Like,
oh.
they wasn't theirs. They didn't have to do any of that. I didn't ask. I just said, crap, all right, I got to slowly build back up. They just said, well, what was in there that you need to keep doing what it is you like doing? Bingo. Like, there's small little things. I mean, and they're big to me. But yeah, I like what I do.
Oh,
I really do.
absolutely.
And I like who I do it with and for. Like, so when I got out of the military, I guess I'll explain this because people, want hard questions. I'll give you a hard answer.
Okay.
So when I got out of the military, I went to a couple doctors and they said, hey, look, you got to find a hobby. You got to keep your mind occupied. If you allow your mind to be stagnant too long, you're going to go down a trail that, nobody really wants to go down. And we don't want to see you go down, and let's figure something out. And he said, take up golf, take up bowling, take up, keep an aquarium. This is what he said. And I had kept aquariums before. I had community tanks. I had like a comet goldfish bowl back in the day when I was growing up. And I said, you know what, man, maybe I should just take up an aquarium. And so I started with an aquarium. It was absolutely heinous. I mean, it was like the plastic glow under UV light plants, and it was horrible. But it was mine, right? So when I say it was horrible, I say that because mentally I've advanced, but I'm not discrediting anybody that gets into the industry, the hobby, through any means. For me, it was heinous. So when I look back at that, I'm like, my goodness, but that was me. I was in my element. And then I remember I went from a 55 gallon, then I got 100 gallon. These are all freshwater, by the way. I got 100 gallon, I don't know, like 60 days later, and then immediately bought a 150 gallon 6-foot tank, put it in my living room. It was my main showpiece, and I was looking for information on fish, and there were books, but there was nothing on the internet at the time. This is like 2012, and there was a few people on YouTube. There was like 0 saltwater YouTubers at the time, and I said, let me ask some folks. So I created a YouTube channel. Long story short, people said, show your tank, do this, do that. So I started, and then I realized that I needed a purpose. I need a purpose wherever I go, whether it's to make somebody laugh or it's to impact somebody or to educate somebody in some way. If I can help somebody, just one a day, that's all that matters to me. And I just decided to create a YouTube channel educating in a way that was, fundamentally easy. It was very long-winded. I'm a talker, clearly. But my YouTube channel took off. And that's what ultimately pulled me from law enforcement and doing some other things while I was trying to go to college, which didn't work out for me. Then I jumped into the industry, and then, fast forward, what would that be? 6 years later from when I jumped into the industry after YouTube, which I still dabble in YouTube. It does okay. Here I am. And so I'm very thankful for that doctor to say, hey, I'm very thankful that I got to serve in, for the United States in the military. 13 years. I wanted to retire. Matter of fact, I would have retired 2 years ago.
Oh,
Like, dang it, man. But I am doing something that I truly love, and it turns out this is not that dangerous.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we can tell that you are doing what you love because you are so happy. And
Yeah.
it shows. It shows through your reels. It shows through this live that you are so thrilled with what you do.
We woke up today.
That,
We should be
that's all right.
happy.
That's
The It is
that's
what it is.
exactly.
The rest of it, it is what it is. That's, all this is temporary, and we should really.
Oh, you lost audio. Still can't hear you. Can't hear. Okay. Guys, that I know most likely what happened was he got a phone call, and when he did, it mutes it, so he will join us back again in just 1 minute. Guys, invite you back in. Okay, let me see if I can invite you back in. Search. Let me see. Says adding. Guys, if you have not followed
Well,
Sicce, please
yeah.
do. There you go.
So this is what
There.
happened. My phone said you had enough of Facebook today. Goodbye.
Well, that's tough.
So I've set up limits on social media for myself, so that I wouldn't be overwhelmed. So highly recommend that, but highly recommend turning it off before you do something like this. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, where we left off, I mean, we wake up every day excited, right? We should be, because we woke up. And we can have all the problems in the world, but at the end of the day, the way I say this, we're not special in that way. Everybody has problems. Everybody goes through something. We're not special that this one thing is happening to us. But where we can differentiate ourselves is we can move forward. We can push ourselves to whatever it is. And I've been through some trying times. I grew up in probably not the best picturesque, house. What was that song? Started from the bottom, now I'm here. I'm not there yet. I want, I have an idea in my head of where I want to be. But at the end of the day, if you're keeping an aquarium, oh my goodness, like, you can't tell me that there is that much bad going on because you have an aquarium.
Right.
That's huge.
That is.
That's huge.
And it is a distraction for a lot of people,
Yep.
and it gets their mind off different things. I started this page simply as a distraction for me,
Yep.
nobody else.
Absolutely.
It was just a distraction for me, and it got my mind off different things and stuff. And I thought maybe 100 people might come hang out, and here we are, 4,400 and something later.
Shake a leg, girl. Shake a leg. We're here. Yeah.
It's amazing, but I mean, the saltwater aspect of it, it is very effective for a lot of things. The pleasure that yes, it's not all
It's a pain in
roses.
the often.
I agree. I agree, but what we get out of it, is wonderful. It really is. It absolutely is.
Let's do
And
this. Let's let some folks ask some questions, like hardball questions.
hardball
Nothing's off
question.
limits. Go ahead, ask the questions. If Courtney Gipper private messages me, we got some free swag. Ross Driver is Ross the one that had the kid?
He's the one that's got a baby.
Ross, don't try to double dip here. Brian Paul, go ahead and message me. Let's see. Tracy Rogers, go ahead. Teresa Mariquin. I'm scrolling through. I like how I'm scrolling through. It's like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah, we'll leave it right there for right now. But I want to ask you some questions.
Oh
How about
God.
that?
Okay.
Huh?
Oh,
Let's Busta Rhymes, flip mode. That's what we're doing right now.
oh,
So
I
when did
should
you
have
start
studied.
keeping aquariums?
April 20. Well, saltwater. I started April 29th of 2018. So I'm still
Okay.
a newbie.
I mean,
Um, I
okay.
had freshwater for probably 20 plus years, and I had
So you became a
always
professional and then you decided to try
right.
out
Well,
some.
actually, my nephew, he uh, he had a saltwater tank, a 125, just pretty similar to mine, and I would always admire his and stuff, and he was like, "You need to get you one." And I was like, "No, I'd never be able to take care of it." Yeah, you can. I'll help you. I'll help you. And so he found a friend of his was selling a 35-gallon complete setup, with canister filter. And I got, I was like, okay, I got it. And he helped set it up, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it can't get any more prettier than this. I was just so happy. And then that came. And I was like, oh God, And, I don't know if you know it or not, but I do breed and raise
I do
clownfish.
know that.
Is that crazy? And you know
Well,
why I do?
it depends.
Because,
If you were at like a book club drinking tea and you said clownfish, it would be crazy.
right. But the reason I did, and it's a lot of the drive, like you were talking about earlier. Um, the reason I do is because I'd gotten this pair of clownfish for the 35. I just didn't even know anything about them, but they come with this really cute nymph. So it's like a little trio, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then I don't know, just maybe 2 or 3, 4 months later, there was eggs, and I was like, oh dear God, what do I do now? And
That
so
was easy. That was easy.
I asked some questions on a group. I'm not mentioning names. I don't even know if I'm in that group anymore or not. But I asked a question about breeding and raising clownfish. And I got this remark I will never forget. It says, if you don't know any more than that about fish, you need to sell all your stuff and take up knitting.
So, did you take up
Challenge.
knitting?
Not in the
So,
least.
you know
I
what
was
you
like,
should have did is you should have had the clownfish in the back while you were knitting and said, "Hey, that was great. Now I'm knitting and I have clownfish for
that's right.
sale if you'd like to purchase some, you turd."
I know, but I mean, that's how condescending and some, people can be, when you ask a simple question. We weren't all born with this knowledge. I'm sure you weren't, you know. Well, maybe you, I don't know,
No,
but
no, 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 no.
but I'm like, just for asking, and that can be detrimental to someone new in the hobby. And that is
Absolutely.
why I try to run this page as the most friendly page that you can find about giving advice or, asking a question that people don't just chew you up and spit you out. Because I have been there, and I was like, challenge accepted, dude. I'll figure this out one way or another.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. So I get exactly what you're saying. When I started YouTube, it was very similar, right? Like you get people that come out of,
Nowhere.
well, it's, it's crazy.
It is.
So I think one of the funniest thing that's ever happened when it comes to social media for me was I had filmed some, I'm not saying this condescendingly, but you know what an axolotl is, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I saw an axolotl that was a firefly. Bobby Moon, I appreciate it. He keeps talking about YouTube for me, and I'm not it's done okay. It's done okay. I probably could have done better if I focused, but so I took some video of these axolotls and I slapped it together and I let an auto dictation pick up my words, right? So it gave the auto captions and it misspelt axolotl 3 times, right? I wasn't paying attention because I said exactly what I said. I didn't say axolotl, axolotl, axanoodle. I said axolotl each time. And it changed it. I put it up on YouTube. I think it had like 5 million views. All of the comments are, this dude has no brain. He can't spell. Maybe you should spell properly. And if it was me when I first started YouTube, it would have been like, maybe I should stop. But I realized that ignorant people need love too. They need to laugh too. So I looked at it, and if you go and look at some of the comments back, I literally say, yeah, man, this guy is a knucklehead. He can't spell. Because really, what is it changing? What is it doing? Is that doing anything if I said, no, you suck, I suck? So somebody commented and said, the best form of revenge is success. And I always look at it as, I'm not looking at any revenge per se, but there's always somebody in the back of my mind, whether they were 20 years ago or they're 3 days ago, that is propelling me, that is motivating me to continue to be better and better and better, because without them, you didn't create anything, you didn't continue to push forward. And then as all of the great starts coming in, we don't take for granted, by the way, we then utilize that to continue to fuel, but the jet fuel comes from the turd burglars. I think Eminem said it. What is it? Turd stain on the underwear of life. Like, we need folks like that for most of us that want to continue doing good and that want to continue caring about what we do and push it forward. So, I mean, let them think you should take up knitting. Maybe you should, and they should be your first customer. I mean, So let's do another question. What'd you do before you kept tanks?
Before I got tanks, my last job, per se, working out in the public, I was a manager.
A manager.
I was a manager. I managed Quiznos.
Ooh, Quiznos used to have the bomb meatball subs, man.
No, Quiznos was the best. Quiznos was good. I managed Quiznos, and I managed a Cricket phone store.
I like Quiznos better.
I do too.
But that's not your choice.
I liked it a lot better. I liked it a lot.
So what was your favorite sandwich from Quiznos?
A mesquite chicken with bacon.
Mesquite? I don't think I've ever.
And a chicken carbonaro. Those were so good. I
don't remember the last time I was in Quiznos, but I just remember that my dad got 5 meatballs instead of 6. God rest his soul. I remember that. Like, he was very upset that they shortchanged him a singular meatball. So,
oh my God, he didn't come to my store then, because I made sure everything was there.
No, I lived in Connecticut. They shortchanged Quiznos.
I sure did.
So let's say 5 years from now, Tank Talk with you. What do you envision?
Oh gosh, I say, Jason, that's going to be so hard, because I'm not the envisioner, I guess. I would hope that it continues and grows, and it becomes one of the most nicest communities there is on Facebook.
Hold on a second. I mean, hope. You're the driver. You're not managing this. You're directing this. This is it.
I know.
Granted, I get it. It's what was a
And you know,
thankless job. It doesn't make a ton of money. I get all that. But if it's your stick and this is what you like doing, you
it
got to
is.
rock with it.
It is. And I do enjoy it. And I don't get anything like I'm not doing it for me. I
You
want to
started
do it for,
you started though for you.
I started it for me as a distraction, but I continue it for everyone else because I have the hopes, the dreams of bringing the hobbyist to the vendors, because a lot of people did not know the SDC existed, or that it would tell you the temperature of the water
Yeah.
and a lot of the other things. And that's what I hope to do, is to bring the vendors and the hobbyists together, and we got to know you a little bit more personally. And that's why I try to like talk to the vendors and find out a little bit about them, because they're Sicce, okay, that's you, so to speak. That's how we envision it. But now we can put a name, I mean a face to it. We can put a dream to it, because we see your dream, we see your how much you enjoy this, and that just uplifts everyone in my eyes.
So, I mean, as long as you have that plan and you stick to it and you maneuver with all those weird tidal waves that will come, you know,
Right.
I can envision if you continue to do what it is you're passionate about, I think that this could be extremely large in terms of what you want it to be and what you envision to be large. Um,
Absolutely.
I see a lot of folks, they ask, can you make money from this? Indirectly, probably. Um, it's one of those things where money is a driving force in the world. However, it's all in how you approach it,
That's
right?
right.
Like
You've
money
got to
shouldn't drive,
enjoy it.
yes, money shouldn't drive your next move. Money should just continue to fuel what it is you envision. And if you allow the money to take over, then here you are, right? Now you're knitting.
Right.
Now you're knitting.
Exactly. When you lose the passion for what you do, it just becomes so mundane. Just,
Yeah.
like, ugh, I got to do this. I have never said, ugh, I got to do the live.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, is it Tuesday yet?
And that's good, right? Like that's building a community. That's community driving. And I think anybody that's watching this right now, you better be sharing this, and you better not, you can literally just black out the bottom half. Send this around, send the group around, get people that you truly believe would be a good part of a community, right? Like you're not trying to add 100 million people
No.
just like that. You want in your head
Wow.
quality over quantity.
Yes.
And I can see it working. I can definitely see it working. And you're not the type, I can already tell, you're not the type of person that money is going to drive you left or right. And if money drove me left or right, I probably would have monetized my YouTube channel before I had a viral video.
Right.
That would have changed things,
That's right.
right? So,
Well,
uh,
Tank Talk is venturing out this year. We're we're
oh,
we're we're venturing out a little bit this year. I have never. I'll put it out here now tonight.
hold
I
on,
haven't.
Kian. I want you to hold that thought. I
Okay.
want you to tell the world this, but we're going to set it up. Go invite a bunch of your friends. Invite a bunch of your friends that are already in this group that are not watching, because Tian's going to say what it is she wants to say. And then we're going to answer this one question from a teacher, Elliot Seifert. I'm a teacher. What's one thing you feel is the best thing that I can provide my students to make them lifelong hobbyists? My boss, Stephen Berlin, will say this till you're blue in the face. People will not remember what you did for them. So whether it's in the aquarium hobby, whatever the case is, those kids are not going to remember what you did. They're not going to remember the small little things like, oh, you had an aquarium, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. So if the idea is to impact them with aquariums or impact them in a classroom or impact them in daily life for whoever it is, it's all about how you make them feel. If you truly make them feel genuinely excited, or you show them something that makes them feel excited, they'll remember that moment over the moment of what you gave them. So keep that in mind. It's all on how you make them feel. All right, Tian,
Okay, real
tell
quick,
everybody
I'm
your
gonna
deal.
touch on that
Not real
point, and then I'll
quick.
tell you.
You,
Huh?
you tell everyone
Okay.
your goals, your new vision.
Okay. Well, Tank Talk is growing. We are venturing out this year. Um, Not that I'm a celebrity, but I will make a public appearance.
Woo! Autographs?
Oh, sure, sure.
$5. But sit at the table while you're knitting and sign
Oh my
autographs.
gosh.
Yes, I'll pay for that.
I am going to make a public appearance. The first one is going to be at Rap Orlando.
They should be paying you to come in. They should be giving you free access. That's what they should be
I'm
doing.
excited. And I want to ask you, have you heard, are they canceling Magna? What's the deal?
I'm not
Because,
affiliated with MACNA, or I'm not on the board of MACNA. All I know is that there's no dialogue. We'll just put it that way right now. That's not my place to say anything for positive or negative.
right.
So right now there's no dialogue. The last MACNA that was in Wisconsin, it wasn't the best MACNA. It was great because there was amazing folks there.
Right.
But outside of that, they would have a lot of work to do. We'll
Right.
put it that way. And I hope, I genuinely hope that they do put in the work or whatever it takes to get to the MACNA that it once was. I'm not going to elaborate it anymore.
Right. I was really excited about Magna because me and my admins we were actually going to had plans. We were going to have a booth at Magna,
Okay.
and for the thought that it might not happen is very disappointing. But that's not going to stop us.
No, it shouldn't. I mean, don't get a booth. If I could give you any advice of going to an aquarium trade show or an industry trade show, don't get a booth.
Awesome.
The reason why is because you're tied down to this one location. You're going to miss out on so much. It's part of my career to be in that booth to educate folks on product. But outside of that, I would highly recommend that you just get in front of as many people as you can get in front of, talk to them, find out what's happening. And then on top of it, you can go to the dinners, you can go to the areas where everybody's hanging out and just mingle, as somebody just said.
Awesome. Now, speaking of shows, what shows are you doing this year?
So again, we're very fluid, but we roll with the flow. We do know that we're definitely going to be doing Aquashella Dallas. Aquashella pulls in, I don't know, 7,000 people through the door, and there's no other show that pulls that many right now in our hobby. Freshwater, saltwater, there's coral vendors there. There's, you name it, they're there. There's a lot of people. So that's a lot of folks in front of what we are trying to do. We're going to be at some Reefapaloozas. I don't know in which capacity. We've been asked by some local fish stores to attend and be in their booth and help them, which is very exciting. We will be Reefapalooza Daytona. There is one there. Or no, excuse me, not Reefapalooza, Aquashella Daytona. There's Reefapalooza California, Reefapalooza New York we will be at. And then I'll be overseas. I'll be in the UK. And Reef Stock Denver. I mean, Reef Stock Denver is next month. So I'll definitely be there.
That's coming up quick, and that
Yeah.
I think that's going to be huge.
You know, I'll actually tell this story real quick, if you don't mind, about
Sure.
Jake
Yeah.
Adams. So Jake Adams is very polarizing, right? If you watch any of his videos or you knew him, he was opinionated. Your opinion did not matter with Jake Adams. It just didn't, right? And that's what made him him. He was very knowledgeable. He was eager and hungry for more knowledge, which was just fascinating in itself. And I had known him from the outskirts. One of his favorite Sicce products was actually the Voyager HP10. He had it in a lot of his coral vats. It was, matter of fact, I think he said at one time it was his favorite inflow pump, propeller pump, stream pump. And I didn't know as much. I still don't know coral. I'm honest. I know how pumps work. I know how aquariums work. I know bacteria. I don't know coral. I couldn't tell you the difference between a super ultra euphilia and then a plain euphilia. I don't. They're
I
the
can't
same
even.
to me. They're the same, you know. But we launched a new product, which was Pump Clean. It was the first product we launched that was new while I was on the team. And my boss said, I need you to go to the Reef Builder studio and do some stuff with Jake Adams with Pump Clean. And I'm like, I haven't used it yet. And he's like, yeah. This, you'll be fine. It was not fine, by the way. Like, when somebody knows as much as he does, I can tango with, you know, articulation. Like, I can talk, but I'm not going to talk if I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know something. And so it was Jake Adams and I alone. The first time I met him was the first time that I had Pump Clean, the first time that I used Pump Clean. It was the first time I disconnected a pump from a saltwater system was with Jake Adams. And it was, you know, and so now it's just him and I, right? So no cameras are going. It's, you know, him and I doing the Pump Clean thing, and we're getting ready to go to lunch together. And I said, so is it working? I don't know. Is it working? And he said, well, time will tell if it's going to work. I'm like, oh, golly, man. So we go out to lunch. He shows me around that area in Colorado, and we come back, and it worked. And I know it did. I could physically see that it worked. I mean, it melted all the the coralline that was on there, all the calcification. Like, it just came away. It was like a wipe, and it looked brand new again. And so I was excited, and I was like, it's pretty sweet, huh? Looks good. It works. And he goes, listen, I'm going to use muriatic acid no matter what anyways, right? Because like, I have muriatic acid. And I'm like, I could have just said, yeah, it makes sense. Then I was like, no, you don't get to just say that, Jake, because you're not the definition of every hobbyist. You're Jake Adams. Like, your knowledge is vast, and your personality is even bigger than your knowledge. Yeah, you can get muriatic acid, but most folks don't.
Right.
And
Right.
to have a safe product, this works. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, so you're gonna say that, like, on your thing, your blog? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, come on, man. So
What's
that was the start,
I got to do?
right? So that was the start of Jake, Adam, and I's relationship. And it's funny because most people won't know this, but Jake loved freshwater. He had a lot of freshwater aquariums inside that studio. And I think he geeked out more with freshwater than he did anything. So he saw that I kept some pretty unique freshwater fish. He also seen that I kept some pretty unique basslets in my saltwater aquarium. And he would never publicly ever say, I still have the text. I'll save them forever, because if I ever get in front of somebody to talk, you know, in honor of Jake Adams, I remember him texting me back, and he said, oh, you have, and he gave me the scientific name. I had no idea what fish he was talking about. And I was like, what? And then he sent it to me, and I said, oh yeah, I have cave basslet, I have Swiss guard basslet, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, I didn't think you'd keep a fish like that. kudos to you. He wouldn't say that, maybe I
Yeah.
was, I was doing a little bit better than he thought. And then our relationship shifted because I'm known for wearing crazy shoes and all this stuff. And he would start sending me sneaker pictures, which he did not wear anything like that. And he's like, hey, I'm thinking about expressing myself more like you. What do you think? And he would send me pictures of, crazy colored shoes and then antique aquarium stuff we both would go back and forth with. But it was pretty crazy that Pump Clean tied us into that. And then I went to my first reef stock, which was last year. And, I got to see him put it together. And it's a very well done show for, what it is. It's not a mass production thing.
Right.
And I was quite impressed, although I never told him that because you did not tell Jake Adams that. And even though this is a Debbie Downer part of the conversation, when I was in the UK, him and I were communicating back and forth prior to him passing. I was in stores and seeing fish that he only wrote about in his blog. And I told him that I would send him videos and pictures. And I got to see these fish before him. He, in person, he had only wrote about them. And I'd send him multiple photos of me in front of the fish, like, just being silly. And he's like, dude, I wish I was there, blah, 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 blah. And we exchanged some back and forth banter. And then I was at the store that had this massive warehouse of old antique stuff. And the guy said, when I come back next year, which is this year, that I could definitely go in. I could put on some boots, knee deep it, and go through all this antique stuff and check it out.
Aww.
And I sent it to Jake because he was into that sort of thing. And long story short, I guess he had passed in between that banter we had the day prior to then. And at first I was like, man, what the heck? Like this was the stuff we were supposed to be looking at. You're supposed to be excited. And then I boarded the plane later that night and found out. And it made me realize that he did have a huge impact on who I was, what I did, how I talked about Sicce, and where I went with Sicce. And also, I mean, he's had a huge impact on the aquarium industry in what he's done and what he was able to do and what he still will do through his legacy. So I don't know how that ended up there, but I'm glad I got to say it. That's all.
Awesome. That is wonderful. Now, I got one last question for you. I think I kind of know the answer, but I want to ask you anyway. Does your heart lie with freshwater or saltwater?
Freshwater. I'm very quick with it. I've got a lot of friends that own saltwater stores, and they know this. It doesn't mean I don't like saltwater. It doesn't mean that I can't know your pain points and use memes and reels to get to those pain points, because I know. But if somebody said you only get one, fresh or salt, and there's just too many things I could do with fresh. I cannot keep a sea turtle in an aquarium. I cannot keep a whale in an aquarium. I can keep turtles. I can keep frogs above water. I can keep aquatic lizards. I can keep a plethora of different species in freshwater. And freshwater does need the same products. Like, honestly, I hate to tell saltwater folks, but there's more freshwater aquariums in the world than there are saltwater, and freshwater came well before saltwater. So if you want to know what came first, chicken or the egg, freshwater.
Yes,
just saying.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. I have so thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, and I feel like I've kept you on here forever.
That's okay. I didn't eat. That's your fault. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. I enjoy this sort of thing. So
that is awesome. I have so much enjoyed it. And I mean, I've learned so much. I'm still stuck on the little thing that tells you your temperature on the tank.
It's patented worldwide. So don't let any other buddy try to tell you otherwise. I mean, it's a patented worldwide.
Patented worldwide. Y'all, that's awesome. If you have not checked out their website, please go do. And if your local fish store is watching, Ross Driver, maybe y'all should start carrying Sicce.
I'm readily
Just
available for
saying.
contact. And if you're a store, I can definitely help you out in getting Sicce products to even use and run your store that are very energy efficient to help you with your electrical costs, etc.
Awesome. I do know that we do have some stores or in here in the chat. So if you're not carrying Sicce products, maybe you ought to talk to Jason
It's your
because
fault
that
if you're
should be.
not. But we have a
That's right.
bigger team than just me. Melissa Sharonbrock is, I'd actually like to give her a shout out.
Yeah.
She's brand new to the team. She's going through all the training right now, and she's into the saltwater sticks, those ugly things that, they die randomly, and then
Yeah.
people spend lots. Yeah. She's really into that, but she's an awesome person. She's a great addition to our team, and she is available to help local fish stores achieve what they're looking to achieve ultimately. And we're here to help. So really excited. The team's growing. We're growing. Your Facebook group is growing. Everybody's growing. So I don't know. There's no negative here.
Right. I mean, and that's what I don't like. I don't like negativity. And, I like the positive. I like, looking straight forward and reaching some goals. I mean, I'm hoping to hit 5K. I'm going to hit 5K. I'll change that for you. I'm going to hit 5K before our first birthday. So that's outstanding to me.
That's phenomenal. When is
It
that?
is. April 4th.
Well, if you hit 5,000, even on April 4th, CJ will be there to provide some amazing things to give away. Put it that way.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, we are going to have a birthday bash, and I'll let you know more details about it. But, we are going to celebrate our very first birthday because it's very worthwhile. And for running no ads and just being a word of mouth group and everything, we've come a long way, an absolute long way. And I'm extremely proud of it.
What's that saying? We didn't come all this way just to come all this way.
That's right.
Let's keep
There's no
going.
need in stopping now. And
Let's do it.
you will see if you attend Orlando, you will see me.
I'll
We'll
get
get to
an
meet face
autograph.
to face.
I wear a lot of makeup, so
I do too.
you may not
So we're all
recognize me.
good. Y'all don't want to see me without my
And
makeup.
all my lights just shut off. They don't even care.
Oh my gosh. I appreciate it so much. If you guys haven't checked out Sicce, or if you're interested in some of their products, because I'm going to look into that little SDC thing there. That's it. That's it. I need one of them. So I'm going to check it out. So I need you guys to go there also. And Jason does have a YouTube page, as he mentioned. Is it listed under your name, or how is that listed?
Yeah, so I have Instagram, Facebook, clearly, and YouTube, which are all the same. It's JAYWIL07. You can find me on any single one of those. Instagram is where I post the most, and it bleeds onto Facebook, of course. But more importantly, Sicce, Sicce. It's pronounced, folks, Sicce. Sicce.
Sicce.
Only one L, Bobby Moon. It's a typo.
One
You are
L.
one L, Bobby Moon. But yes, so
Those typos
Sicce,
can get you in
they
trouble.
will get you in trouble. But you can check Sicce out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, some of your major shows. We've got some cool things coming. And when I say that, I mean like interaction with the community. We have an ambassador program. We have an influencer program. So if you folks are doing some stuff on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and you're looking to be a part of something like that, or you want to know what we're looking for, please feel free to reach out. But we're here. We're here to help with your aquarium. We're here to help you get the right things, even if it's not a Sicce product, because I mean, it would be rude of us not to help you.
Right. Well, I mean, that's how we're all going to grow together.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel. if we lift each other up, we're all going to grow together.
Has anybody seen this person that's been behind me the whole time? Can you see that? You didn't. I had him sitting up in the back the whole time. So, yeah, there's a store out of Colorado that sent me him. That's Hezbollah from Dagestan. He makes me laugh like crazy. But I set him up. I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it like a little Easter egg in the back. And then the light shut off. And I turned around and I'm like, man, he's a creep.
That is so cool. Oh my God. Your videos and reels and stuff and TikToks, things with him in it, I just crack up. I'm like, oh my God, how does he do that?
I appreciate it. Seriously, it's been amazing. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their week. Listen, what happens to you today doesn't mean it happens to you tomorrow. Don't forget your past, learn from it, move forward, and follow the whale.
That's right. All the way. Now, before you go, are we going to spin the wheel for
yes, spin the wheel. Can I be
spin the wheel?
Oh, no. Yeah, Vanna White, Wheel of Fortune.
Vanna White.
See,
I'm just going to hold this like this. See? Okay, guys, we're going to spin the wheel for a
Ultra Zero.
Ultra Zero.
Wait, what is you, NASA? Zero gravity? Where were you going? Zero gravity, ultra solar powered Falcon X pump.
That's me. That would be me. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't know where zero gravity came in at.
Well, it makes sense. I would have said zero gravity. So.
Here we go. This is going to be the winner for the pump that Jason is offering up from Sicce. We're going to see what number it is, and then one of my admins.
I'm going to guess 27.
14. It is number 14. So, my admin or moderator will look that up real quick and see.
Did you see how you said that? My moderator.
My moderator.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get them on that real quick. My goodness, I have enjoyed you so very much. I appreciate it. And if you get to Orlando, I'm going to get your autograph.
No. Okay, if I go to Orlando, hold on. Wait, last thing. I think I still have them. This used to be a thing at Aquashellas. They would print them out for you if you had a YouTube channel, blah, 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 blah. For anybody that attends a show this year and I'm there, come up and ask me for one of these and I'll just give it to you.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, clearly I like 80s, 90s retro stuff, but yeah, this was like, they would put it on the table and they would, have you sit at the table. And I'm like, we keep aquariums. Like, we're not, I don't get autographs from like celebrities or any, athletes or anything. I just like the presence and talking to them. So yeah, you could just, so I posted my face on Slimer's tongue. It's silly, but I am a child.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, I will definitely get one of them from you. Bring one at least to Orlando.
I'll have enough just in case there's a few folks that come.
It looks like Harvey Castile is number 14, so that is our winner for the pump. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Harvey. Congratulations on winning the Ultra Zero pump here on Tuesday Tank Talk with Tian. We appreciate your participation and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
That's right. I love it. Oh my gosh. You don't realize how many people that you make smile and chuckle and laugh.
Not one. So I'm glad. I'm
well,
very thankful for that.
You've exceeded your quota then. So that is fantastic. And Jason, I look forward to possibly meeting you in Orlando if you show up.
Absolutely.
And getting that little Slimer thing from you. I'm excited about that.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that came in. You folks are
Thank you
amazing.
so
Keep
very
keeping your
much.
aquariums, and we'll see you around.
Go check out the website, Sicce, not Sice, Sicce.
Sicce. Thank you.
Sicce. Thank you, Jason. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, I do so hope that you enjoyed the live tonight with Jason from Sicce. Please be sure and head over to their website. Check out that pump. Check out the one that tells you the temperature of your tank, because that's what I'm going to look at. Anyway, thank you so very much for joining us. It was a much longer live than usual, but thank you so very much for hanging in there with us. And absolutely, I greatly appreciate it. And anyway, you guys take care. Have you a wonderful evening. And I do know that next week's guest is going to be fantastic. Watch for the drop. Hit that invite button. We are heading to 5K. And it is because of all of you inviting all your fish buddies. And I really greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And I will see you, if not on a pop-up live. You never know what's going to happen at Tank Talk. If not on a pop-up live, you will see me at the very latest next Tuesday night with another special guest. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Take care. Bye, y'all.